Hello and welcome back to another edition of On the Road. Today we sit with owner-operator Patrick Haynes. Pat Haynes has been a professional mover for over 35 years. His family is from Tennessee and Pat is a big family man. His goal is to exceed expectations for all of his customers. Let's hear a little from Patrick.
I'm Patrick Haynes and I live in Hartsville, Tennessee. Household goods driver right at 35 years. I know I've busted 1,000,000 miles. Big fan of Southern California. I'm a big fan of Mexican food. It's all about the family. I have one son that's 16, a son that's 15, a son that's 13, and my daughter Lily is 11. Third generation mover. My grandfather, my dad did it for a while and then he progressed into the office. As a kid, we used to have trucks at my house all the time. Used to sit out there with those big shiny trucks and I'm just a little boy, and I always wanted to drive them. Didn't really know what was involved in it. And I just kind of got pushed into it. Not really pushed, but there's another story there. There is no sad stories, but there are. Got put into it at a young age and I just kept my nose at a grindstone. And I love household goods. I think it's a challenge. I think it's a job satisfaction. You go into somebody's house, to you it might not be the best stuff, but to them it's all they got. You take care of it and you deliver it the way you picked it up. And I feel good when I do it that way. Nobody's perfect, things do happen, but that's the satisfaction of the job. Well, I got my Arpin dog tag on. Basically, it's just something I'm proud of. I mean, I'm Arpin strong. The parachute cord is Arpin colors. The dog tag's just got my name on it, driver ID, and where Arpin's out of. Love my Arpin strong bracelet. Never take it off. Always wearing that. Shoes got to match the uniform. Shoes got to match the uniform. Now, you knock on a customer's door. You're standing there with a t-shirt on and blue jeans. No. You knock on a customer's door, your business card in your hand. You pull up in your unit, you park it. Maybe you leave the four-ways on because you're not quite positioned where you need to be. You got traffic in the neighborhood, you got kids running around. You knock on the door. When you look through the peephole or when they look out that window, there's our driver. You're in full uniform. You do your introduction, and you know what I usually tell them? I said, now that we're getting to know each other, can I take this off? And the shirt comes off, and then I'm in my Arpin t-shirt. Like I said, the first impression, when you pull up to that house, because they don't know what to expect. They don't know you. Most of us drivers here, we're married, we're family men, we have kids, just like they do. And it just goes from there. But I'm always in uniform. My wife says she doesn't even know why I carry street clothes with me, because 7 days a week I'm wearing something that says Arpin on it. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. You have to gain the customer's trust when you get there. Sometimes from the coordinators, if you get some feedback before you go into a certain situation, maybe the customer doesn't want to move. The animosity's up about the town they're moving to. Well, when you're a driver, we've been to all these places. You can tell them the good stuff that's there when they get there. You just kind of get them on your side and go from there and just pretty much give them whatever they want. It's all about customer satisfaction. Sure, there's some days I wake up and, I got to deal with somebody I really don't want to deal with. People are people. We're all different. That's what makes the world different. You just, like I said, you're not there to live with them. It's nothing personal. 3-4 days, maybe 5 days tops on a big job, you're going to deal with them. And you know what? When you leave there, they're happy. They may not tell you they're happy, but nothing happened. The move went fine. They're happy. Because you're not there to live with them. You might spend 3 or 4 days packing them and putting them on the truck, and you might spend 2 or 3 days getting them off the truck and unpacked. So it's nothing personal. I mean, everybody has problems. You just deal with them and what they're going through. Maybe they got their house for sale and the closing fell through. And then the house he was trying to buy to move into, well, he can't do that now because the deal went bad on the other end. I mean, you kind of listen to them, sympathize with them a little bit, but other than that, get your job done and do it right. Communication to me, what I do is right now I'm loading on the East Coast. I have already told the West Coast planner what my projection is to be empty. You know, pretty much stay within them dates and stay in contact with them. When you get empty, you know, he'll have something for you to load. You got to communicate. Got a problem on a job, you need to communicate it back, because if you don't and the customer, you know, talks to the coordinator about it and you didn't say anything to dispatch about it, no notes in the screen, then it's not a good situation. Some situations you can handle yourself, some you can't. Had an issue over the weekend. Husband's not there. Wall mounts for the TVs, you know, with lag bolts in the wall. They're left up there. Coordinator reached out to me. Could you please take care of this for me? Not a problem, ma'am. Got my socket set out and pulled 3 of them off the wall. We're good to go. Customer's happy. Notification is everything. I mean, if you can get your job a week in advance, don't wait the day before to try to find your crew. To me, when I go to the front door, I have runners in my hands, my door jamb and my door pad. That's the first thing we do, is throw a runner out before we even enter the residence. With casual labor, I mean, you got to show them. You know, show them that you're willing to do it. Show them the right way. They probably won't catch on by the end of the day, but at least, you know, you put the effort in, and they'll do a better job for you. You know, take care of them. Ask them if they're hungry. You know, if they're thirsty, I mean, I keep an ice chest full of water, Gatorade. Just kind of take care of them, you know. Get friendly with them, and everything will be fine. It's important. You know, everybody wants to be liked. It's really not a popularity contest. When you do your job right in household goods, you stand out. I mean, your claim ratio's low, your on-time delivery's up there, your customer service is up there. I've got a lot of friends in this industry, a lot of friends, and met a lot of new friends. It's very important. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to brag, but I don't think I've ever really had a complaint about my paperwork. Cross your T's, dot your I's. They send plenty of memos out for the new guys. You know protocol, you know what has to be done. I try to use every piece of Arpin paperwork there is. A lot of guys, you know, they're like the residence damage report. I'm not going to fill that out. Well, you know what? They sold the house, somebody moved out, somebody moves in. Next thing you know, there's a ding in a stairwell or something, or maybe a gouge on the floor. It could still come back to haunt you. So I fill out everything I can, and I turn in my paperwork. As far as logs, safety's everything. I mean, if you're not in compliance, you're not going to drive. If you're out of service, you can't make any money. In 2007, Vice Admiral Neptune. I moved him off Yerba Buena Island in California. Difficult. Yerba Buena Island's in between the Bay Bridge and San Francisco. There's an island in the middle. It's got a Coast Guard base on the cliffs. I was out there for 4 days with this guy, this Admiral, and we became really good friends. He asked me where I was going to stay. Told him I was going to go into San Francisco or Oakland and get a room, you know, because by the time I got my unit onto the island, the only way to get it off was to shut down the 101, or the 80 actually, going westbound into San Francisco. Because if I tried to make the other turn, would have took the guardrail out, and the trailer probably would have fell off in the bay. I mean, it's pretty tight up in there. Gave me the keys to his house. I stayed in the Admiral's house for 3 days. Used the Admiral's sauna at night. I was on Pier 39 every night on the Embarcadero having a fresh crab and sourdough bread, and actually held that shipment on the truck for a month. They didn't want to pay waiting time. Wendy did not want her stuff off the truck. I went home, and it was right around Christmas time. It sat on my trailer for a month. I delivered it between Christmas and New Year's. But that was probably the most memorable move I ever had to my reckoning. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
I'm sure.
But, you know, to move people like that, you know, with who he was, it's just very down to earth. You know, here's the keys to my house. I'm staying with the captain next door. Loved it. Well, mobile mover. I was against it. I was dead set against it. I've handwritten inventories for years. I got about 30 minutes of training on it. Took it to my first job, was a small job. Kind of stumbled with it a little bit. You know, you just got to figure out where the pieces are in there. I mean, you go in a bedroom, queen headboard. It's not going to be under queen headboard. It's going to be under bed, queen. There's, you know, you can also add your own pieces in there to your favorites. Now that I've used it for over a year, I would hate to have to handwrite an inventory. It's terrible. As far as the delivery part is great. Get your wireless scanner out, give it to the customer, it's charged up, you give them your iPad, you put it on never sleep, you give them that scanner, all your guys got to do is take it in, put it where they want it, all right? They scan the number, there's no more, you know, number 15, 15, number 258, okay, let's see, 60, 80, 120, 258, slows the process down a lot. The other thing is when you're moving people in, phone's always ringing. The kids need something. Your shipper's gonna stop, tend to what they need to. Us, with the mobile mover, you can continue on. Just pull the tag off, stick it on the kitchen counter, keep doing your deal, and then when they're done, they can just go back and bleep, 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 bleep. Yeah, I love it. I recommend everybody use it. They care. They care about us drivers. My buddy brought me here. I've known him for about 35 years. And I've worked for a few other van lines, but Arpin's like family. I mean, if you got a problem, you talk to them. They work with you. You know, just do your job, do it right, and you know the red carpet's there for anybody. I can't say enough good things about them. I was pretty much down when I came here, and I mean within a year and a half I've gone, not going to say to the top, but I bought a new tractor, got nice equipment, I've got loads, I've got the respected dispatch, and they've got my respect. Like I said, I had a couple issues that were going on, and they worked with me. And I mean, it happens in this industry. You know, it has its ups and downs. It's seasonal business. Some winters are strong, some are slow. I got a little worried about it. I called who I needed to call, and they took care of it. I mean, this place really does care about their drivers. You know, a lot of companies, they could care less about a driver. You know, get on the internet, find another one. But to find a household goods driver, it's very tough nowadays. You know, all I can say is I'm Arpin strong. I mean, I really am. I love this place. And I've had my bad days and I've had my good days. But I got more bad than good, so you got to weigh it, you know. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to retire here. I wish I would have started here when I started moving furniture.
Thank you, Patrick. You have certainly exceeded all expectations, and Arpin is proud to have you on our team, where we believe we have the best household good drivers in the industry. Thanks. That's it for today on the Road. Stay tuned for more. Meanwhile, drive safe and know that you are appreciated.